welcome to Light Waves by Todderbert. If you enjoy reviews of flashlights, rechargeable lanterns, and other portable light sources, then make sure to subscribe and tap the bell icon to miss any of my most excellent videos. In front of us we have the Covmax. I'm going to call this model number 90 because it's a 90-degree head there. This is a USB rechargeable 18650 flashlight with that 90-degree swivel head and a side light bar. I got this off Amazon for a total of 15 bucks. I was looking for an inexpensive 18650 solution that was USB charged, and this is what I found. There's quite a few of these branded on different labels, but Covmax had this. I figured I'd give it a shot since I've liked their lanterns and flashlights already. So go ahead and zoom this down, and we'll see what this box says here. So you can see the front, got a picture of it. Multifunctional work lights. All right. LED and COB. COB means chips on board. That's that lantern or side light bar. I call it a side light bar. I could call it COB light. You guys understand. So yeah, it's a perfect scenario right here. Mechanic, it looks like, working on something. Got a really cool magnetic swivel base, which I'll show you. This side here, what do they got? See, they use a newspaper clip. That's pretty funny. Let's clip our newspapers on there. It's like a nylon material, so it's a pretty strong clip. I was kind of upset that it wasn't metal, but it seems like it'll hold up for a little while anyway. USB charge jack there, magnetic base. Now the magnetic base is awesome on this light. I'm really enjoying that. So let's go ahead and open this up and see what we get for our 15 bucks. So yeah, I'm trying to go for the inexpensive and see what you can get and what's doable, what's usable. And this one I found to be rather interesting. See anything else in there? Nope. Okay, this is all you get. This is what you get. Now there's some things I had to estimate as far as the light goes, because they don't give you a ton of information on these cheaper lights. So I just kind of like tried to figure it out. I don't have any luminosity testers, so I kind of just go by with what I own already. So there it is, the Covmax. Model number, I'm just going to call it 90. Because that's what it's going to be. Let's just lower this down a little bit. All right, so let's go over some dimensions. We're 6 7/8 of an inch, so almost 7 inches long. So it's kind of a hefty light. And I got a couple other lights we'll show and give you a comparison. We have a diameter. It's kind of square, so it's not quite round. But at its largest point, we are at 1 1/4 inches in diameter. And then we have a 175 millimeters in length or 32 millimeters in diameter. So that gives you an idea. So let's do a size comparison. Bring this back up. And this is going to bug me because you know how I am. I'm neurotic with dust from shipping stuff. So let's get that off of there. All right. So what we got the other Covmax that I reviewed. This one here is the TF1781. Kind of a cool light. This one has a removable 18650. Also charges off USB. Has a spot for it. Pretty cool design. I don't know if you guys have seen this one. It's got a zoomable head. But check out their review. I'll have it up on top there. Tail switch is really nice. Except the magnetic base isn't as good as this one. This one has a much stronger magnet in the base. But still a cool flashlight for inexpensive, for under 20 bucks. That's what I've been looking for. 18650s under 20. And then I got this for comparison. This is the Workhos FC11. It's a little bit more money. This is like a $30 light, comparing it to a $15 light. But it shows you can go really pocket with an 18650. But this is like an everyday carry. This is more like a workshop light or an auto light. We'll talk about that. So we have that, and I have like a 18650 over here. Give you an idea. It's a protected cell. There you are. Okay, cool. Yeah, just so you know, you can get cells to 3600. Anything higher label is not true typically, unless you guys know of an 18650 that's a true or higher than the 3600s. This is as high as I've found them. This is a Panasonic cell that's been relabeled and added circuitry. So let's go ahead and show you a deck of cards for size. That's always fun. Get Iron Man in the picture. I gotta zoom down again. Zoom it down. Downtown. Okay, so that gives you an idea with Iron Man here, how big this thing actually is with a deck of cards. Okay, a lot of features to go over here. And then we'll do a little demo of this light. So to the front of the light, it's pretty cool. We got the swivel head. This is what makes this light interesting. See the little arrow here? We just turn it to where the arrow is. Well, I'm going to turn it back, I guess. So there's your 90 degree. So you got a 90 degree light. Now, some companies sell it with a headband, but this thing weighs half a pound. So I don't see wearing this on my head. Unless you guys have no problem with that. I don't need that extra weight there. I'd rather do like something more tiny, and those little 3 LED ones are just fine. This thing definitely for the hand or on a magnet, not on your head. Trust me on that one. But pretty cool how it goes 90 degrees. And while it's 90, we can take a look at it. It looks like it's got a glass lens there. Now, neat thing, it has an O-ring around that, before that glass, and it glows in the dark. Hopefully we get to see that tonight. It kind of reminds me of the Lumitops brand, where they have that luminous ring, so you can find it in the dark after you've used it. Thought that's pretty nice. So you got a smooth reflector in there. Bring it back up. The LED. Now the LED is interesting. They call it just XPG, so I assume it's a Cree LED, and it's rated a cool white and probably right around the temperatures of 6,000 to 7,000 Kelvin is my guess. So it's a cool white. Don't expect a lot of high rendering index with this light. It's more of a work light to get things done versus inspecting things with color. All right, so let's see what else we got here. So we'll spin this back, get it straight again. I do like that 90-degree swivel. It's not bad. Here we have a power switch, and it goes through the modes. There's no memory on this light. It just starts out on the flashlight, goes to the COB or light bar. I guess I'll call it COB. You guys know what it means. Chips on board. It's like really small LEDs that are high output. Pretty amazing. I'm going to show that to you in a second. This controls the modes. I love it has red LEDs and even a flasher. So the flasher is really good, especially in a situation, an emergency, and in a vehicle. I can't stress that more than enough to have a red flasher in a vehicle. Or when you're carrying this portable, if you're on a bike, it'd be a good thing to have too. So yeah, you'll see you got a nylon. This is like nylon plastic. It's a little harder than your traditional plastics. It might hold up for a little while, but I see that snapping off with a little bit of use, so I wouldn't go too crazy on that. Just try to be careful. Of course, the COB light that you saw there, same material. I wish this was like in the aluminum. That'd be nicer, but for $15, you can only ask for so much. It's got the aircraft grade aluminum. Okay, that's what they all say, and all hard anodized. So going towards the back here, we got that magnetic base, which is like a monster, dude. This thing, you have to work to get it off. That thing's awesome. It picks things up off the bench. Definitely really cool. And then you can actually, there's a little ring here. You can loosen this ring up. And then while it's mounted, this is pretty cool, it's got a swivel. So if you're mounted with your magnet, you can swivel the light. All these directions. Plus you have that 90 degrees thing there too. So you have all these directions you can swivel there in that ball joint. And yeah, it's built right in. So I thought that was pretty neat. I got that little collar that goes right back to keep that nice and straight. Okay, and then it's got a USB charging, so let's open this up. You open this up here. This will take you more time than the average review, but there's a lot to this light. So you got a big O-ring right there. Nice. There's our USB jack. Now if you look closely, there's a screw here and a screw here. Okay, I took it apart to see if I could replace the battery, and it looks like you might be able to if you got some skills. Okay, I opened it up and there was a ton of little wires running to the COB light, to the front light, to the charger. There's a whole big charging board here. It looked like a mess, and I did not want to ruin the light, so I just left it alone. If you have skills, you might be able to replace the battery. If not, just leave it and get another one, because they're cheap enough. $15 is enough, Not having replaced Bluetooth 650 isn't going to break the bank for me. I'm sure I'll get a lot of use out of this before I have to worry about the battery. But it looks like it could be changed. This would be a challenge for those who like challenges, definitely. So we'll just tighten it up. Now, if you notice how it's just a fixed thing there, I actually have a power strip with my little power block, and I just plugged it straight up like this. Works out pretty good for me. But if you guys don't have that, because you don't want to hang it like 90 degrees on the wall because it'll be too much pressure, I'll put a little link to a cable you can buy. It's a to B, so you can actually, it's a female end, you plug in here and you can take your cable and run it to a normal power jack, so you don't have to worry about how this is positioned while you're charging it. So there it is. Okay, so let's go ahead and set this down, and we are going to go to the garage and show you some pictures of this thing in action. Yeah, always fun. Alrighty, this first picture, I am 15 feet away from the garage door, and the light's on high and 600 lumens. And as I read the description, they say you get about an hour use out of it. The battery, the 18650, is about a 1500 milliamp hour rated battery, so you can only expect so much time. 1600 lumens is quite a bit. You only do short bursts with this light. The next picture is low. I'd say this is approximately 300 lumens. It almost seemed like it was half the output. And they say it can run for 3 to 4 hours typically. Not bad. This next picture, you'll notice it's kind of a dimmer light, but this is the COB light or the side light. I approximate the lumens as 300 lumens. It lights up quite a big area, and you'll get to see that in a moment. We'll do a live test. Expect it to run about 2 hours approximately. And then the next picture here, it's the same COB in the red mode. And I approximate the lumens as around 100 lumens and expect it to run about the same amount, 2 hours is my guess. So my best guess on this. Let's go back to the bench. All right, so we're going to turn off some lights and we're going to see this thing in action. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring out this guy. Just kind of show you the differences of what you can expect. And I'll have an Iron Man here in the middle. Let me go ahead and turn this on. I'll show you the modes and how this works. So yeah, I was looking for the, they didn't really water rate this one, probably because it's not super watertight. If I find anything, I'll put it here, but I don't think there is any water rating. If there is, it might be like IP4, water resist. That's about all you're going to get, probably because of the swivel head is that. So I'm just trying to think of 5 modes, no memory. We'll go show you the modes here. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the lights off and we'll see how this looks. Okay. So yeah, it's a great light for a shop and great for the automobile. And you get to see that and why that is. Just turn off that light. I guess I better turn that on. There we go. Okay, so it starts out in high, 600 lumens. Okay, I'm aiming up at the ceiling. So right now I'm on the table aiming at the ceiling. And I'm on low. And that's going to go to the COB mode, which is the lantern mode. A nice side light. This is really nice. Like I said, approximated it around 300 lumens. It could be a little less, maybe 250. But I want to say it's right around there, 250 to 300. It's fairly intense. Lights up quite a good area. And then we'll go to the next mode, which is red. And I think that's 150 lumens or 100 lumens. That's really nice. Really good in a low light situation to preserve your night vision. And of course you have the strobe red. Okay, so we'll go back to high. And you can see it's got a nice bright spot. This is good if you're walking. I'm going to go through the modes again. Back to high. Let me show you this other one here. So this other light is the TF1781 Covmax. And this guy has a really wide beam. It has a more like a zoom feature, but the zoom feature, it kind of, let me show you what the zoom looks like on this one. It kind of goes down into a weird artifact little square. You still get your high little pinpoint, but yeah, you get this, but you can really flood it out, which I like. So that is a good option. So if you're not looking for a side light like this has, you might want to go with something like this one here, just a standard flashlight that's big enough so you don't lose it. That's another reason why I like these. Big enough so you don't lose them. All right, so let's go ahead and turn these things off. Okay, you gotta cycle them. Turn the lights back on. We'll do final thoughts on the Covmax 90, I'm calling it. You know, these lights. All right, I gotta turn that off. Okay, so you can see that side switch. Again, it cycles all 5 again. See, there's the flashlight. Yeah, I mean, I just like that. I dig this 90-degree bend. And I really like that. I think that's very handy. Holding on to it and you can just aim it where you need to. That's really cool. Just wish it had a mode where it remembered your last setting. That would be fantastic. But for the price, for $15, definitely a winner there. Does it get recommended buy? If you don't mind the fact that you might not be able to replace the battery, yeah, for $15, it's actually made very well. The USB charging jack wasn't a problem for me because I had a strip with the power block standing up. I could just plug it straight up with no problem. If that's a problem for you, you might have to spend an extra couple dollars and get an extension cord. Again, I'll put the links below to that. Then you might want to go after something like this if you're just looking for a regular flashlight with like the zoom feature that I showed you. This has the USB in it too, and you can check out the review of it up here. I think it's just a couple bucks more, so you get yourself, one of those two. And there's always the everyday carry, but this is a different category completely. These are nice because if you lose this $15 light, you're not worried about it. I've had people say they've bought like 4 or 5 of these lights. They've liked them and they just put them in their cars and they're ready to go. They make sure they charge them periodically. I think like every 4 months, you want to make sure you're charged up. And then you have all those modes for you that definitely for short-term use is really good. When you're trying to work on the car, or you're in a situation where you're stuck in the snow, or the battery went out, and you want to make sure that the people can see you. Oh, that's one thing I didn't show you. The glow-in-the-dark mode. I got to show you that. See if it does it. See if it's dark enough to see that. All right, so it's got a glow-in-the-dark mode here. Let's see if I can show you that ring. Got to talking, and I forgot to show you. There it is. See that? It's got a really cool green ring going around, like the Lumatops. There you go. You get an idea how that works. Pretty nifty. All right, had to show you. Back on the lights. So for $15, yeah, go ahead and grab one. Definitely worth the investment if you want that side light and the 90-degree bend and that awesome magnet. I mean, this thing is like workshop all the way and auto use all the way. So there it is. The Covmax 90, I'll call it. It's awesome. If you like this video, give me a big like. You guys are awesome. Hope you enjoy these lightweight videos. I enjoy producing them. Definitely. If you like this brand, check out the playlist over here. I'll have the lanterns. They have a really cool dual 18650 lantern. You got to check it out if you need a lantern for emergency use. It is probably the best lantern I ever reviewed, and it's really cheap. I think it's like 16 or 15 bucks on Amazon right now. So check that out over there. It might even be up in the iCards. I love that lantern. A lot of people like that lantern. They bought it. They've loved it. And the replaceable batteries in that one, which is great. So that is a number one for me if you need a lantern. But if you need a workshop light, this might be one to think about. All right, guys. Yeah, and of course, comment below what you think about the Covmax USB rechargeable 18650 flashlight with 90-degree swivel head and side light bar, or COB for short. Let me know down below. All right, guys. Thanks a lot, and we'll see you in the next video.